What we have here is the Kingpin. That is the Kingpin underneath the apron, that big ass metal plate on a 53-foot trailer. That Kingpin's important because it hooks into the fifth wheel on the tractor. It goes right in there. When it hits that little rim, the bar comes across the front and will keep it in place. That is the only thing keeping the trailer and the tractor together. That's what allows it to pivot so you can go around turns. These here are your tandems. The pivot point of your tandems is right there in the center. When you're driving forward, you want those tandems to be as far forward as possible, because your pivot point between that Kingpin, which is on your fifth wheel, and your tandems are short. On your tractor, those are your drive wheels. Those are not tandems. You got your front drive wheel and your rear drive wheel. Those are your drives. When you're going backwards, you want your tandems to be back as far as possible, because your pivot point becomes the middle of those tandems. From your end of your bumper to the end of your wheel where that mud flap is, that's 2 feet. From the end of your bumper right here where your pivot point is in your tandems, that's 6 feet. Now, if your tandems are all the way forward and you're backing up, you're going to have about 13-14 feet of trailer overhang. If your tandems are at the 40-foot or the 41st foot distance from your Kingpin, you're going to have about 10 feet of trailer overswing. So even though you're pivoting up here, you still got about 10 feet of trailer that you have to manage to look out for. Your tandems have to be balanced because of bridge laws. The most weight you can have on your steers, your steering wheel, which is your front tires, is 12,000 pounds. Maximum weight you can have on your drives, which is under the Kingpin, in this area, maximum weight you can have is 34 pounds. And on your tandems, the most weight you can have on that axle is 34 pounds. 34 and 34 is 68, plus 12 makes 80,000. 80,000 pounds is maximum weight for this vehicle that you can have and drive legally. You don't want to go over that. That is your fifth wheel. By moving that fifth wheel pin, because you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 holes, by moving that forward or backwards every hole, you're going to throw 500 pounds on your steers and 500 pounds onto your drives. And we'll come into later for how you move your fifth wheel when you balance your wheel. Sometimes you're trying to balance your trailer tandems and your drives and you can't. So that means if I'm trying to balance everything else, I put my tandems all the way back, I'm still 500 pounds over. What I need to do is throw weight from my trailer tandems for this load to my drives. I do that. Right now my steers are 10,300 running light. So I move that fifth wheel forward. One, I just threw 500 pounds for the steers. I just shifted 500 pounds going forward. One thing you got to remember is your diesel, your fuel. 1 gallon is about 8 pounds. If I have 100 gallon tanks, I have 800 pounds. So with 200 gallon tanks and I'm full of fuel, I might be 10,300, but on a full tank of fuel, plus me in it, well, without me in it, just the fuel alone is 10,000, 11,500. So I have 500 pounds to play with once I get up there onto the steers. No, I'm sorry, that's wrong. 100 is 1600, 10. Yeah, so when I'm fully filled up, I'm 11,900 on my steers. So if you need to play with your weight, have a little less fuel. Refill more often. Just don't overfill and then get caught at a checkpoint with your weight. So these are your tandems. They're going to be important